us. Listen to a guy this afternoon, Steve Shives. He's talking about the Trump cult. He's talking about cults in churches and the difference and all that kind of stuff. He's an atheist or whatever. That's, that's what he believes. I want to speak about it for a minute. Like this idea, like the cult is something that make people do something they wouldn't already do. And I don't think Trump made anybody do anything they want to do. The MAGA bomber, like Tree of Life, like these people are already out here. This didn't start with Trump. Trump made their voices amplified. And he made their crazy fever dream idea of America seem possible. What the Bible talk about? The devil making evil fair seeming? That's it. I don't believe for one moment that anybody that's a Trumper. I mean, there's some people that probably were. I was a conspiracy theorist back in the day after the Iraq War started as a teenager, and 9/11 and all that. I was with that, but I don't think for one moment that January the 6th and the people who actively have committed crimes on the behalf of that presidency, that administration, or advocated for violence on behalf of the administration. I don't believe they didn't already know what he was, or you know what I mean. I don't believe that they're like, I don't know, I didn't know. I don't believe that. I think that there's a lot more nasty, hateful people than we know, and I think that that's the scariest part of the Trump administration, is realizing just how many really hateful, diabolical people live amongst us, and it is it's something I don't have a solution to. I watched a movie called Downfall. Came out back like a decade or two ago, and the movie was talking about just in detail, Hitler in the bunker, coked up in 45, and what coke and belladonna was out of his mind, and how he just did not want to believe that the war was lost. And he's like, well, this army here, and they're like, dude, he lost too many people. He can't. And the other one's like, well, there's nothing. It's like, dude, you can't get there. And then he just like blows up at them. That's Trump on January the 6th. Of just like this belief that things like Trumpism is really based on one phrase: alternate facts. And what alternate facts are is that the world has become too inconvenient, so let's make up our own reality. So climate change is real, and pandemics aren't real, and we don't need pandemic response teams because we don't believe in diseases anymore, right? We don't believe in pandemics anymore. We don't believe them. They'll just go away. Remember he said that? Trump said he believed that there's kids getting sex changed in schools. Yes. Remember, Trump said he thinks you have to show ID to get a loaf of bread. Yes. Trump said he believes you use a nuke to stop a hurricane. Yes. Trump altered the weather map to say a hurricane was going to hit Alabama when it wasn't. This is their politics. This is their administration. It's one of lies. It's that's all it ever was. And I just worry people are trying to make something it's not. It was never meant to be like broken down. And I was reading Geraldo today talking about how he's so sorry that Trump was everything that people said he was, and it's like that says you're a bad judge of character to me. And I think also with what I think Trumpers are? I think with Trumpers, if they're fair with themselves, I think that there's a moment where they will acknowledge he's lying, but that it's good lies, and that it's lying to get them what they want. And I think that some of them will be like, wait a minute now, someone told me that you're a liar, and then some of them are like, let's go on into the dark side. Geraldo is the former rather than the latter. That's all. I don't think that this makes him like this. Ooh, he's a poor old man. This is none of that. This is a man that, to a certain extent, it's like Hitler. Hitler never declared a war. I think the only time he declared war was after Pearl Harbor. Hitler just did it, just lied and invaded people. He just did it, just lied. You know, he broke all kind of agreements. That's what he did. He made an agreement with Stalin that he wasn't going to invade him, and he did. This is what they do. He lied. And if you don't care and you want his idea of America that badly, then you will go along with the lies because you want that kind of country. You know, that's Trumpers. That's how I see Trumpers. That you either you will either acknowledge the reality of fascism and being a part of a fascist institution, and all the dangers and trouble that comes with that, or you'll just go into the dark side and be like, yeah, but like I give you an example. People talk about how like there's this thing coming out of Eminem's against Trump, and now there's this video they released of him in drag. Well, he did a music video like 20 years ago making fun of Britney Spears. People were like, see, he was getting buck breaking. He was Illuminati then. And it's like, dude, he was making fun of it. It was just a joke. Like, some of his stuff is pretty homophobic. It's like, what? And they're doing that as a way to be like, well, it doesn't matter what Eminem says because he wore a dress 20 years ago in front of a camera. So somebody was putting up clips of Trump and Giuliani. You know, Giuliani was in drag and he was making fun of it and all that. And someone's like, well, what does that mean? That means Trump's okay with transgenders? You don't even get it. You just said something about a person that's false. That it was something, a joke or whatever. We're showing you Trump did the same thing. You're too dumb to get it. You're like that's Trumpism. You are gone. That even when your own people do stuff, you don't understand nuance, even on your own side. Nuance is meaning that I can understand what my enemy wants. I can understand what they want, what I want, how it differs, how it comes together. That's nuance. I understand what you want. I know what I want. That's nuance. I can take a moment and look at not just everybody else the devil, and I'm like that's not what adults understand. Other people live in society with us. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes we want is wrong. We still want it. I just feel like ultimately I don't believe this notion that Steve put out that this is people been brainwashed and like they just were just like weak and poor and stuff. Cause that's what Jim Jones was getting blacks. Yeah, he was, and that was back in the day. So those are people that were really doing bad. People that were really, you know what I mean? He had soup kitchens and stuff. That's different. People who were already doing bad. So, all right, bro, we'll take care of you. He wasn't racist. And for back then, that meant something. It meant something. These are not those kind of people giving Trump thousands of dollars. You know, and it's something to see him go out these rallies in Nebraska and places and leave everybody out there in the cornfields. It's beautiful because that's how remember he said, I only care about your votes. That's how he sees them. There's something beautiful about that to me, that if you're done taking advantage of, then that's how Trump sees those people. Why wouldn't he? You let him keep doing it, right? You get older, you teach people how to treat you. You know? And then the fact that even when Trump leaves, he brings them in on buses, and he leaves, and it's like one bus for like hundreds of people. And there's this whole notion that like, oh, this is the mayor. The mayor told the gases to shut down. No, nigga, the fuck you mean? Trump's a cheap bastard. He doesn't care about you. Why don't you get that? Like, I don't like, you don't understand capitalism. You don't understand how those guys think. It's like, I get it. You can be for something, but anytime you're for something, you gotta know what? You gotta know what you're facing. That's right. You gotta know what you're facing, right? And the idea of supporting Trump, being for Trump, and not understanding that's the way he is, like, that is to me the greatest delusion.